Hey, welcome back to the Daily Past. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're always up to date with the latest events from around the globe. Alright, let's dive into today's story. Okay, on January 13, 2025, something pretty serious happened. The Russian Ministry of Defense accused Ukraine of attempting to sabotage the Turk Stream pipeline. Yeah, the one that's super important for getting Russian gas into Turkey and Europe. According to Russia, they say, 9 Ukrainian drones targeted a gas compressor station in the Krasnodar region, which, is deep in Russian territory. Now the Russian military claims they intercepted and shot down the drones before they could do major damage, but still there was some minor damage to the infrastructure. Russia is calling this attack energy terrorism, and they're really emphasizing how dangerous this could be for Europe's energy security. I mean, we're talking about a major disruption to the flow of gas that powers homes, factories, and just keeps the lights on in millions of European households. And this isn't just about energy, it's also about the broader geopolitical tensions between Ukraine and Russia right now. If Ukraine really did carry out this attack, it shows just how high the stakes are in this conflict. Yeah, it's a really risky game they're playing. So let's take a step back and talk about why the Turk Stream pipeline is so critical. It's a massive piece of infrastructure. I mean, it stretches all the way from Anapa in Russia to Kiev in Turkey, about 1,100 kilometers across the Black Sea. This pipeline is a direct link for Russian natural gas to travel to Turkey, and more importantly, it's one of the main routes for Russian gas into Europe. It's huge, because Europe is still heavily reliant on Russian gas, despite efforts to diversify energy sources. Now, the Turk Stream pipeline is more than just a pipe, It's got these compressor stations along the way, and they're crucial for keeping the pressure up and making sure the gas can flow smoothly over those long distances. Without these stations running at full capacity, the entire system could face disruptions. And as we've seen with this alleged attack, even minor damage can have a pretty big ripple effect. If something were to happen to one of these key infrastructure points, we could be looking at massive energy shortages for Europe. And that's not just bad for economies, it could also trigger political instability. So yeah, the Turk Stream pipeline is a lot more than just a pipeline, it's kind of the lifeline for a lot of countries. Okay, now let's shift gears a bit and talk about NATO, because NATO's involvement here has been a point of contention for quite some time. As you know, Ukraine has been trying to join NATO for a while now. They've made their case pretty clear. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has repeatedly pushed for NATO membership, saying that it would provide Ukraine with some much-needed security, especially given Russia's aggression. But despite all these calls, NATO has been pretty slow to act. Instead of offering Ukraine the direct membership it's been asking for, NATO has primarily focused on providing military and financial support. And well, that's raised some serious questions. I mean, why promise all this support and then not follow through on the bigger commitment of membership? It's been almost like a half promise that's left a lot of Ukrainians and others feeling like NATO's not fully backing them up. In fact, some critics have gone as far as to say that NATO has betrayed Ukraine by not delivering on its promises, especially when things are escalating so quickly. This kind of slow-moving approach is definitely making some people question NATO's credibility on the global stage. And then, of course, this whole situation ties back to the bigger picture of the energy crisis. On January 1, 2025, Ukraine made a pretty bold move by halting the transit of Russian gas through its territory to other countries. This was a strategic decision, aimed at cutting off a vital revenue stream that helps fund Russia's military operations. But this is just adding more fuel to the fire, literally and figuratively, because now Europe faces even more uncertainty around its energy supply. With Russia already cutting back on exports, and these new attacks on key infrastructure, Europe's energy situation is looking, well, pretty precarious. It's not just about the gas. The economic ripple effects of these energy disruptions are real. Europe is already dealing with inflation, energy shortages, and a rapidly changing geopolitical landscape. And oh, let's not forget, rising energy costs are hitting people hard. So in a way, every move in this energy chess game is going to have a lasting impact on the daily lives of millions of Europeans. Alright, that's where we are right now. Energy security, NATO's role, and the conflict between Ukraine and Russia are all deeply intertwined. It's a delicate balance, and honestly, things are looking more unstable by the day. So I want to hear from you. What do you think? Do you think NATO has failed Ukraine by not offering them membership faster? Or do you think NATO's hands are tied because of the bigger geopolitical risks involved? And how do you think Europe should respond to this latest attack on the Turk Stream pipeline? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I love reading through them, and I'm sure this is going to be an ongoing conversation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more in-depth analysis like this. Thanks for tuning in to the Daily Past. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring the world with us.